The Batman, not to be mistaken for The Batman, is a show that's pretty frequently overlooked in the Batman community. The first results when you look it up on YouTube are about how little people talk about it. But I feel like more people should know about this show because it is an awesome series and definitely worth your time. Hey everyone, I'm Ghost, your host with the most, and today we'll be talking about a spectacular standalone, the Batman Zombie Apocalypse. The episode I want to talk about today is Season 4, Episode 6, Strange New World. Obligatory full episode spoiler warning. I'd recommend going to watch the episode blind before watching this video. As the title suggests, this episode works great as a standalone and does not need the context of the full series to be understood. Alright, made your choice? Then here we go. The episode opens with Batman recording a combat log. In the last 48 hours, Gotham has fallen to a zombie apocalypse. Batman has one chance to save the city, by setting off charges of the zombie antidote into the air. Just before he triggers the explosives, he's attacked by who we are left to assume are zombie versions of Batgirl and Robin. Batman is caught off guard and the detonator goes clattering to the ground. We can see Gotham, flaming and in ruins, as it all fades out. We get a flashback to 48 hours earlier, and the episode starts in earnest. All seems well in the Wayne household. Bruce is practicing for a big speech, Dick is playing games on the couch, and it seems to be a lazy sort of day.
What do you think, Dick?
Sure, you could give that speech. Or to save time, I could fly over in the Batwing and drop knockout gas on the crowd.
This contrast presents the viewer with the classic question. How do we get from here to such destruction in just 2 days? Well, it doesn't leave you to wonder for long. Bruce gets a call. Hugo Strange has requested to speak with the Batman in Arkham Asylum. Hugo Strange, Batman explains on the way over, is a master psychologist. He's obsessed with the criminal mind and Batman in particular. He warns Robin that he should be careful. He is unpredictable and loves to mess with people's heads, the Batman's especially. And Hugo pulls no punches. The second they arrive, he announces the reason he called Batman here was to get his assistance on an experiment. He has unleashed an infectious gas in the Gotham populace, turning anyone who breathes it into mindless zombies under his command. He informs him he's already taken the antidote, and that Batman needs to act fast because for the rest of Gotham the effects will become permanent after 48 hours of infection. He offers Batman the rest of his antidote, but drops it on the ground while handing it over, allowing it to dissolve into nothing. And with the stage set, the game begins. Immediately, Batman does what you would expect. He calls the people closest to him and warns them about the virus. Runs tests on the air, but the chemical dispersed too fast. There are no traces left for him to analyze. Instead, him and Robin go to meet with the commissioner and the police department. Unfortunately for him, they're all already zombified.
Batgirl, I'll totally deny I said this, but having you here doesn't completely stink.
With Batgirl turned and no backup coming, they have no choice but to run, swiping a DNA sample on their way back to the Batcave to hopefully synthesize a cure. But as they soon find out, the cave isn't safe either. Despite the Batcave's protective filtration system, they find the worst has happened. Somehow, Alfred was turned. I love this part in particular because of the way it affects Robin. Batman has to lock Alfred in a cell while they work, and they try all night to make something to save them. It starts taking a toll on them both.
You help!
Stop it! Stop it! It's not fair. We're all alone. Alfred, Batgirl, the whole city's infected. And we don't even know why.
Unfortunately, he can't find anything. There are no known substances he can trace the compound back to create an antidote. With no other options, they go back to the man who started all this, Hugo Strange. Sitting on his throne at the top of Arkham, Batman finds Dr. Strange and demands answers. Hugo says that the antidote he destroyed was the last of his samples. The rest were taken as police evidence after a search of his cell. While they're talking, Robin is taken by the zombified Batgirl. Batman doesn't catch it in time. He returns to the Batmobile alone, as the last man standing. His final hope is the remaining antidote, which he manages to steal from the station. On his way back, he's attacked by Batgirl and the now zombified Robin, who try and steal the antidote away. He just barely escapes, fleeing to a safe house now that the Batcave is at risk. He has 20 hours left. By this point, the reality of Gotham has worsened. The colors of the city have changed from the deep blues and purples of the night to reds and oranges as the buildings fall to the horde and are set aflame. Batman is in a bad state and visibly hasn't shaved or slept. He's been working all night on a way to administer the antidote. To quote him from the beginning of the episode,
I'd say it's a nightmare, but it can't be, because I haven't slept in days.
he has one shot left. He's going to blow up explosive charges with his remaining antidote, vaporizing it into the air. It's his last chance, and it's risky, but he's only got a few hours left on the clock. And so, We're brought back to the beginning of the episode, with him fighting off Robin and Batgirl. They're yelling mumbled threats at him as they fight, trying to spray a chemical in his face. But Batman is Batman, and so he recovers the trigger and runs away to finish it all. But then, something Robin was yelling makes him think back. Why didn't he find chemicals in the air if people were infected? How did it get to Alfred? And why would they need to spray him to infect him if they can just bite? He couldn't find an infection anywhere in the hair sample. And if there's no infection, then maybe there's no antidote either. He has a hunch. And if he's wrong, then all of Gotham will die with him. Robin gives Batman the antidote minutes before the infection would have set in permanently. The liquid in the bombs. Robin and Batman had been exposed to it back in Arkham by Hugo. It warped their reality and made them see everyone around them as a threat. There was no zombie apocalypse. It was all in his head, and he almost destroyed Gotham himself trying to save it. He laments this later, preparing for his speech with Alfred. Alfred tells him that it's his spirit, his determination to find the truth that saved Gotham in the end. He didn't let himself become blinded to the facts, no matter how bad things got. And because that's who Batman is, he trusts Gotham will be safe with him. And with that, the episode ends. Strange New World manages to pack so much story into such a short episode, and they made it feel legitimately satisfying, especially with the way it utilized the plot twist of the chemical. It plays on what we expect from Batman. For example, just a few episodes ago, Poison Ivy replaced most of Gotham's important citizens with plant-based clones. The point is, the idea of a zombie horde isn't outside Batman's scope. Hugo Strange as the villain as well was a great choice. In a series where you can pretty easily see the gimmick coming on every single villain from name alone, he's been one of the most unpredictable villains in the series so far. We just don't know what to expect from him. If they had gone with Scarecrow like they originally intended for this episode, if you knew anything about Batman, you'd catch the twist immediately. But by presenting the audience with a premise and a man who would do any number of things just out of curiosity, it makes you believe him. The presence of Robin as well being used to confirm his reality. Batman can't be the problem because Robin can see it too. It lets the episode fly a lot of flags up it uses for its conclusion without setting off too many alarm bells. Only when Batman is alone do you start to question what's happening. The episode feels legitimately tense in a way that's really interesting to me, because right from the start, you know he's going to lose both Robin and Batgirl to the infection, and you see Batgirl go down really early. But Robin's left as this unknown, and it makes you really concerned for him and what will happen, even though you know he's going to be okay. Unlike, for example, Batman the Animated Series, Robin is still a kid in this show. He's 14, according to the creator. He has just lost his whole family like 2 months ago, and now there is a very close-to-home threat of him losing this new one as well. It is heart-wrenching when you realize he spent the last 12 hours confined to the Batcave, listening to his presumably dying grandfather yell for help. The Batman tends to keep it light, but the pure concept of this situation imparts a horror that the series doesn't touch on often. Overall, this episode is a fantastic Batman adventure, whether you watch it along with the series or just by itself. It puts a great spin on the concept of a zombie plot, and manages to pull all of it off in just 20 minutes. The Batman is a great series that definitely deserves more recognition than it gets. So the next time you're looking for a good casual show to pick up, maybe give it a shot. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. For now, so long, and good night.